Welcome to the Russell Brown Show. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to paint between the lines. Yes, I'm going to demonstrate a great tip and technique for painting line drawings like this one. Let's get started. To begin with, I'm going to move over here to the tool palette and reveal the tool that's going to make all this possible. By clicking and holding on the gradient tool, I can reveal the paint bucket tool. When was the last time you used the paint bucket tool? Probably never. In this project, it's going to work perfectly. Let's zoom in on this drawing really close so we can see this process. Next, I need to make some adjustments to the paint bucket tool. Here in the options bar, first I want to set the tolerance much higher than the default, somewhere right about there. Then I want to make sure that anti-alias is on, contiguous is on, and of course, finally, all layers is on. Because when I click inside the region of my image, I want to make sure that it detects the regions found in the base layer here. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I need to do is to create a new layer. Whenever I work on a project like this, I tend to divide the colors up into their own individual layers. Going down here to the base of the layers palette, I'm clicking on this icon, Create New Layer. Let's zoom in even a little closer to see this whole process, just like that. Then I'm moving into my work area with my paint bucket tool, and notice my current foreground color is the color of the flesh tone in this particular case. I'm going to click inside the region of the arm here, and it floods this region with that foreground color. But check this out. It is flooding the region and it is bleeding over into the region of the black line drawing. Now this is good and it's bad. It's good for pre-press reasons because the color flooding underneath the black will then ensure that we have a nice tight fit with all of our colored regions. And if anything moves on press, we won't see any white appear between the black line and the color. Now it's bad because it is now altering my illustration and changing the shape of my black line drawing. What I want to do is to blend the two together. And what you're about to see is the secret, and the only secret to this whole process that you need to know. Over here in my layers palette, I'm targeting layer number 1, the one that has the color in it. I move up here to the top of the layers palette, and I'm going to adjust the mode of the layer to multiply. That's it. That's the secret to success. It's multiplying the color layer into the background black layer and creating a perfect overprinting trap for this process. Incredible. You can also paint into this layer as well. I can pick up my paintbrush, of course, and go in and paint into these areas as you see here. And of course the color is going underneath the black line drawing. So that's another way of adding your color to these lines. But I prefer this paint bucket tool because it can quickly and easily get the color into the location and it traps it underneath the black. Let's zoom back out a bit and continue painting a bit more. With the bucket tool, I can just go through and start to click. Now my drawing has nice defined areas where the color is going in perfectly. However, check this out. What happens if I click here on his face, but the color flows into his hair region? How would I fix that? Well, pretty easily. First, I'm going to go select my magic wand tool. Then select the hair and face region by clicking in this region like this. What I want to do first is to eliminate this color in the hair that's already there, because I do not want to overprint multiple colors on top of each other. So I'm going to select the eraser tool and go in and erase this color. It's only erasing the color in the selected region, just like that. So that's step number 1. Let's go back and select the paintbrush again, and let's create a new layer for the hair color. Going over to my layers palette, I'm going to select Create New Layer, layer number 2. Then let's scroll down to the base, and I'm going to select this new color. Holding on the Option or the Alt key then allows me to click on this color and it is now the current foreground color. Let's scroll back up. Before I start painting with this current color, I want to do one additional thing. I'm going to go up to Select, then down to Modify, and over to Expand. I just want to push this color underneath the black just a bit more. I'm going to select 2 and click OK. Watch the selection grow just a bit, just like that. So now, when I go in with this color and paint, I'm going to increase my brush size just a bit with the closed bracket and go in here and paint like this. It's going to paint into this area. But watch what's happening here. It's painting into this area and it is painting over my existing line drawing. That's because we have not set this new layer to multiply. Going over here to the Layers palette, let's set layer number 2 to multiply. And watch what happens. The colors go in underneath the line drawing. If I see any areas that need to be adjusted, I can go in now and touch those up, just like that. Looks great. Let's deselect from that selection and move forward. Let's zoom back out, see our whole illustration, and we can continue to work on this. Selecting our paint bucket tool, holding down our Option or Alt key to sample a color. So let's just go through here and start to paint some of these sections. I like the way how quickly this works. Just by clicking the area, and you're assured that the color is trapping underneath the black plate in the whole process. And again, do these on their separate layers of color, and then you can adjust them when the project's all done. There you have it. You now know about everything you need to know to create your own graphic illustration. Don't forget, when using the bucket tool, be sure and set the tolerance higher. Be sure and check anti-aliased, contiguous, and all layers. And of course, the most important thing, create a new layer for each of the colors in your illustration, and be sure and set the mode for that layer to multiply. There you go. Give these a try the next time you're painting between the lines.